When I saw George Lucas's movie THX 1138 in the early 70s, it's about a futuristic state where the police make citizens compliant by sticking them with what they call pain prods. And they were early forms of tasers. And I remember sitting in the movie afterwards and talking to people. I said, if the police ever come up with anything like that, we're going to move into a police state one really quickly. Such are tasers. Approximately 11,000 plus police departments across the United States now use tasers, and eventually everybody's going to be using them. What tasers are, they're electric shock weapons that shoot 50,000 volts of electricity into your body if you happen to get hit by one of the darts. It's two darts connected to a string. They strike you, they go through inches of clothing and incapacitate the nervous system for up to 30 seconds in some cases and longer in other cases. Taser International, the group that makes tasers, and the police departments are saying these are the best alternative and safe weapons and to guns and those kind of things. But what we're finding is that now tasers have taken the place of other low-level type weapons such as pepper sprays and other things. And now tasers are just used routinely for a number of things, including people who are no harm to the police officer, not even to themselves. In fact, Amnesty International has issued a report condemning tasers in which they say up to 80% of the time tasers are used on unarmed individuals. Incredibly now, there's an increase in tasers being used against pregnant women. There are a number of cases where pregnant women sitting in the back of police cars have been tasered repeatedly and have actually lost their children. There's even a case where a father was tasered holding a child and dropped the child on its head and injured the child. The police seem to have no restraint in how they're using this particular weapon. Supposedly, police officers are trained to lightly press on the taser electric bolt going in the human body for about 5 seconds just to incapacitate people. But what they're finding now, in numerous cases, police officers are actually prolonging the electric jolt going into people's system and the shock. Remember, it's 50,000 volts, which is almost enough to electrocute you, and inflicting incredible pain. Incredibly, in 2003, an elderly woman who was blind, hard of hearing, was tasered 3 times because she supposedly wasn't being compliant with the police. And actually the police, in the process, that when she keeled over, and that's what tasers do, they'll knock you flat on the ground, her prosthetic eye flew out of her head. Of course, there have been a number of human rights concerns raised by groups such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and other groups all about the use of tasers. In fact, tasers violate United Nations treaties and laws when they're used like we're using them in the United States. Up until 1994, Taser International, the company that makes tasers, was basically restricting their use to law enforcement officers. Now they've gone on sale to the general public. Obviously, tasers should be put on hold until a study is conducted, on the safety of tasers, and strict guidelines have to be put in place for police officers to use tasers so that they won't overuse them. Otherwise, we're opening the door for further rampant abuse and police state tactics.